Prophecy, prophecy, prophecy. When God's servants speak forth, the wise listen. Deuteronomy 18:22. God is still saying something.
Emmanuel, God is still saying something. This is Edward reporting for Emmanuel TV. At the beginning of the year 2010, Prophet TB Joshua read out a series of prophecies for the year concerning different countries around the world. Among them was a prophecy specifically for the nation of America, warning the nation to be more conscious about internal security. Listen to the prophet's words on Sunday, the 3rd of January, 2010.
The great nation America should pray against what is uncommon, that they should take more cognizance over internal security till March. Internal is like more fugitive, dangerous people inside. They should take more notice inside. They should not be carried away about outside this time. From now till March, they should be more vigilant.
2 weeks later, on Sunday, the 17th of January 2010, Prophet TB Joshua again read the prophecy concerning America, explaining in further detail the revelation God had given him. These were his words.
The great country in America, people should be security conscious, more attention to be paid on internal security, homeland security, more attention than outside. There's more to that. We are praying. We love the whole world and we are praying for the nation. All the time, we have a prayer warrior that are praying for all the nations. Peace and comfort. Our big brother here. Pray January to March against attack. Take care of your airspace.
And on the 31st of January 2010, Prophet TB Joshua prophesied a third and final time concerning U.S. airspace.
Take care of airspace against attack. January to March. Take care of airspace.
In confirmation of the prophecy, on Thursday, the 18th of February 2010, shocking news hit the nation of America and the world that a pilot had deliberately crashed a plane into a U.S. government building. Here is the breaking news.
This is CNN Breaking News.
I'm Stan Grant in Abu Dhabi. We've been following this story out of Austin, Texas. A small plane there has crashed into a building. Let's take you to our sister network in the United States, CNN US, for the latest news on this.
Told CNN that this pilot of this plane apparently set his house on fire and then stole this aircraft from the airport and crashed it into this building.
The great nation America should pray against what is uncommon.
I ran outside. All the windows were blown. There's fire coming out and just smoke everywhere.
I noticed that a plane was flying unusually low, and I didn't think that there was an airport nearby, so I thought that was kind of weird, and saw the plane hit the lower to mid section of the building. Couldn't believe it.
We didn't think the plane was actually crashing when we saw it, and it was so low that it was kind of one of those things, like I didn't see the person, but it was close enough that you could have seen the guy in it.
My instructor just started yelling, look at that plane, look at that plane. And then I looked up and all I saw, I just saw big flames, and then we ran out of the building.
It shot right across that light and right across the highway, went right into the building directly. exploded in a fireball. The fireball was probably 50 feet each side of the impact. The windows began to fly out of the building. There must have been a lot of shock inside, a shock wave. The windows flew out, and there's pink insulation pads flying all around.
Some people were running, some people were peeling out of their cars, and we could see smoke coming out of the back end of the building.
The shocking news of Joseph Stack's suicidal mission and vendetta against the US government was met with concern and disbelief throughout the USA and the international community. For a US citizen to deliberately crash his plane into a government building in a violent protest against the government and tax systems, it certainly is an uncommon threat for the great nation of America, just as Prophet T.B. Joshua had said.
The great nation America should pray against what is uncommon.
It's Thursday, February 18th, 5 p.m. in Washington, D.C. I'm Christine Frizzell. You're watching RT. Thanks so much for joining us. We are following breaking news out of Austin, Texas, where the pilot of a small plane slammed into a 7-story building. That building houses offices for the Internal Revenue Service and the CIA. Video from a traffic camera shows heavy smoke coming out. Investigators say the Cherokee 140 plane hit the building at 9:46 a.m. Central Time. The pilot has been identified as Joseph Andrew Stack. 2 people were injured and a 3rd remains unaccounted for. Federal officials say the IRS and CIA have offices in this very complex. It's the reason why F-16 jets scrambled to the scene. In a strange twist, Austin firefighters were called to Stack's home, which he allegedly set on fire.
The crash blowing out windows and igniting the plane's fuel, causing a large fire that swept through the building.
Some people were running, some people were peeling out of their cars, and we could see smoke coming out of the back end of the building. It was very traumatic.
Recall the way the prophet prophesied that the USA should take more cognizance of internal security and not be carried away by the outside this time.
That they should take more cognizance over internal security till March. Internal is like more fugitive, dangerous people inside. They should take more notice inside. They should not be carried away about outside this time. From now till March, they should be more vigilant.
The attack on the IRS building in Austin, Texas, USA on Thursday, the 18th of February 2010 was a huge threat to U.S. internal and homeland security, just as Prophet T.B. Joshua had said. At a time when America's prime focus is on external security, Joseph Stack's suicide mission came as a rude shock, a little too close to home.
Well, we have guests joining us to discuss this breaking news story. Chris Steyerwald with the Washington Examiner is right here in our D.C. studio. And Fred Burton with Stratford, a leading global intelligence company, joins me live from Austin. Fred, I'm going to start with you. The suspected pilot in this case, Joseph Stack, was believed to have been on a suicide mission and angry at the government. So why aren't federal officials calling this a terrorist act?
It really doesn't fit the criteria for that from the Department of Justice guidelines or the FBI for the lead as an actual act of terrorism. Now, the interesting thing would be whether or not he's associated with any of the anti-government groups or the anti-tax groups, and we do have quite a few of those here in Texas.
We're going to talk a little more about security. We go to airports, we travel. There are so many measures taken to keep people that get on commercial jetliners safe. You know, all these things that we've seen. But what about these small airplanes? Do you think that this is going to have to be another thing that Homeland Security is going to have to deal with, both these small airplanes and also domestic security threats?
We've seen the intelligence chatter of the use of small aircraft as terrorist vehicles for quite some time.